Hello, you're watching DD News and I'm Preeti presenting Tracking COVID-19, a special edition we get for you each day to apprise you with the latest on the global pandemic. Prime Minister will today meet the state chief ministers, and this will be the 5th meeting he will have with the chief ministers since the pandemic's outbreak. We get you more on this. Also, we get you global updates, inputs from our reporters and also advice from doctors, which helps you keep safe in these times. Time and again, we have been reminding you on the precautions that need to be taken against the virus. Maintaining basic hand hygiene, self-isolation and following social distancing norms are the only ways to keep yourself safe. Up in the bulletin, we also get you a special report from Maharashtra's Sangli district, where an innovative salon owner is setting an example for others to follow. What is it? Stay with us to know more about it. But first, we get to the headlines. On the National Technology Day, Prime Minister Narendra Modi salutes all those at the forefront of research and innovation on ways to defeat coronavirus. Says technology is helping many in the efforts to make the world free from COVID-19. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to hold a meeting with state chief ministers today via video conference. This will be the 5th meeting of the Prime Minister with state chief ministers since the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic. Indian Railways to resume select passenger services from tomorrow. Booking for these to open from 4 p.m. onwards today and will only be available through IRCTC website. Railways Minister says Railways is fully geared up to run 300 Shramik special trains every day. India's massive evacuation mission Vande Bharat continues to bring back countrymen from across the world. Indians stranded in US, UK, Kuwait, Philippines and Saudi Arabia brought back. Total number of screens of cases in India stand at 67,152, while active COVID-19 cases across the nation rise to 44,029 with 20,916 recoveries and 2,206 fatalities. Maharashtra, Gujarat and Tamil Nadu are the most affected states in the country. National Institute of Virology, Pune successfully develops first indigenous anti-SARS-CoV-2 human ELISA test kit for any antibody detection of COVID-19. DRDO develops automated contactless UVC sanitation cabinet called Defense Research Ultraviolet Sanitizer. Rules to sanitize electronic gadgets, papers and currency notes. In international news, British Prime Minister says that conditional plan will be put in place to reopen society. No immediate end to the lockdown, but some measures will be eased. Up next, we'll get you the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi extended his greetings on the National Technology Day today. In a tweet, Prime Minister said, and I quote him, "On the National Technology Day, our nation salutes all those who are leveraging technology to bring a positive difference in the lives of others. We remember the exceptional achievement of our scientists on this day in 1998. It was a landmark moment in India's history. Today, technology is helping many in the efforts to make the world free from COVID-19. I salute all those at the forefront of research and innovation on ways to defeat coronavirus. May we keep harnessing technology in order to create a healthier and a better planet." And according to the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, the total number of cases related to coronavirus has reached 67,152. Out of these, the active COVID-19 cases across the nation rise to 44,029, with 20,916 persons having recovered, while 2,206 fatalities have been recorded. The worst affected state in the country remains Maharashtra with 22,171 confirmed cases, and then comes Gujarat with 8,194 cases, Tamil Nadu with 7,204 cases and Delhi with 6,923 cases. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be holding a meeting via video conferencing with all the chief ministers at 3 p.m. today. Now, this will be his 5th meeting with the chief ministers. Prime Minister Modi on various occasions has emphasized on the need to work in close cooperation between states and the centre to overcome COVID-19 challenge. Their last meeting was on April 27th. This will be their first meeting after many states relaxed several restrictions. Indian Railways has announced the much-awaited decision of reopening passenger train operations. Indian Railways will restart passenger operations in a gradual manner from tomorrow. The operations will initially reopen with 15 pairs of trains. Now, these trains will run as special trains from New Delhi station connecting Dibrugarh, Agratala, Howrah, Patna, Bilaspur, Ranchi, Bhubaneswar, Secunderabad, Bengaluru, Chennai, Thiruvananthapuram, Madgaon, Mumbai Central, Ahmedabad and Jammu Tawi. Indian Railways will also start special services on new routes based on the available coaches after reserving 20,000 coaches for COVID-19 care centres. An adequate number of coaches being reserved to enable operation of up to 300 trains every day as Shramik Special or stranded migrants. Booking for reservation in these trains will start at 4 p.m. today and will be available only on the IRCTC website. It must be strictly noted that ticket booking counters at the railway stations shall remain closed and no counter tickets, including platform tickets, shall be issued. People are therefore urged not to spread rumours and gather at the railway station unnecessarily. Only passengers with valid confirmed tickets will be allowed to enter the railway stations. It will be mandatory for the passengers to wear face masks and undergo screening at departure, and only asymptomatic passengers will be allowed to board the trains. Also, Indian Railways has operated 350 Shramik special trains till yesterday across the country. There were around 1,200 passengers travelling in each of these Shramik special trains. These trains ferried passengers to various states including Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Himachal Pradesh, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Odisha, Rajasthan, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal. The trains being run by railways only after concurrence is given both by the state which is sending the passengers and the state which is receiving them. Proper screening of passengers is ensured before boarding the train. Also, passengers are given free meals and water, and social distancing is being strictly observed in all the trains. Indian Railways has converted 5,231 coaches into COVID care centres to strengthen the fight against COVID-19. 215 railway stations have been identified for placement of COVID care centres. Over 2,500 doctors and 35,000 paramedic staff has been deployed. 5,000 beds are ready for any contingency. Railways is also producing its own PPEs to protect the frontline workers. It will also take care of water, electricity, catering and security of the centres. And the world's largest evacuation operation to bring back stranded Indian nationals from different countries under Vande Bharat mission is going on smoothly. Civil Aviation Minister Hardeep Singh Puri has said that untiring efforts of Air India Express and the Ministry of External Affairs and our missions keep mission Vande Bharat flying high. Yesterday, 1,239 Indians were flown back on 6 flights from Doha, London, Singapore, Riyadh, Kuwait and Kuala Lumpur. More flights are on the way. The latest flight to arrive with Indian nationals was the first Air India special flight from the US. 225 Indians were brought back from San Francisco to Mumbai. Air India flight brought back 323 Indians safely from London, while 250 passengers landed in Bengaluru. The rest went to Delhi.
It was indeed an emotional moment for over 250 people from Karnataka who landed at Bangalore International Airport. And this emotional moment was witnessed by several officials who were here to receive them at the arrival gate number 12. And all these people who landed here at Bangalore are part of Government of India's Vande Bharat plan to bring in the Indians who are stranded due to coronavirus pandemic across the world. As the flight landed inside, all arrangements were made inside and the passengers were briefed and they were all told about the quarantine procedures and the fact that they will all have to undergo quarantine compulsory for 14 days. Besides this, all these passengers were also told to download the quarantine app, and as soon as they landed, they were given a SIM card where the passengers had to activate the SIM card and then download the quarantine app in their SIM card. This is a technology that the Karnataka government has adopted to monitor the people in a quarantine, wherein people have to compulsorily send 2 pictures per day. Now the quarantine app is GPS linked, wherein it will be monitored by the health department officials and the movement of the people who are in quarantine. Besides this, the officials also directed them to download the Arogya Setu app as well, and all the passengers were told the procedure thoroughly. The passengers were taken to different hotels based on their choice, and they will be staying in 3 category hotels, that is 5-star hotel, 3-star and also economy class hotels. So all these people who have reached India will bear the cost of their stay in India. Government of Karnataka has said that quarantine procedures will have to be strictly followed. With cameraman Venkatesh, Aisha Khanam, DD India, Bangalore.
Indian nationals also returned home through Air India flight from Manila, the capital of Philippines. The flight landed in Mumbai. Late yesterday night, Air India Express flight landed in Kochi from Kuala Lumpur. It landed at around 10:17 p.m. with 177 passengers and 2 infants. Before that, at around 9:30 p.m., flight from Kuwait landed in Chennai. 167 passengers and 4 infants returned safely from Kuwait. Air India flight with 139 passengers also arrived from Riyadh. The flight landed in Delhi. And the government is also undertaking Operation Samudra Setu to evacuate Indians through the Indian naval ships. INS Magar, the second Indian naval ship to reach Malé in Maldives for evacuation of Indian citizens, has left from there, and the ship is expected to take 48 hours to reach India. A total of 202 persons are on board the ship, which includes 24 women, 2 expectant mothers and 2 children. One of the men, who hails from Tamil Nadu, has a fractured leg. As per the procedure, the evacuees were screened medically, their baggage was disinfected, and they were allotted IDs as per various zones earmarked on board the ship. Indian High Commissioner to Maldives, Sanjay Sudhir, said that the evacuation exercise will continue in the coming days under Vande Bharat mission.
Jalashwa reached Kochi, taking 698 Indians with it. We will continue with these operations and try our best to transport as many Indians as possible to India. I must also convey my deep gratitude to the government of Maldives for extending all possible help in conducting these major exercises.
India has sent its naval ship Kesari to Maldives, Mauritius, Madagascar, Comoros and Seychelles on request for assistance in dealing with COVID-19 pandemic. INS Kesari carries on board 2 medical assistance teams, consignments of COVID-related essential medicines and food items. It will deliver consignments of COVID-related essential medicines to Mauritius, Madagascar, Comoros and Seychelles, and about 600 tons of food items to Maldives. In addition, in case of Mauritius, a special consignment of Ayurvedic medicines is also being sent. The consignments meant for Madagascar and Comoros also include hydroxychloroquine tablets, which have already been sent earlier to Mauritius, Maldives and Seychelles. The medical assistance teams will be deployed in Mauritius and Comoros, helping their governments deal with COVID emergency and also dengue fever in case of Comoros. The government has issued guidelines for quarantine of the returnees from abroad who are being evacuated under Vande Bharat mission. Quarantine and isolation facilities must be separated and should be based on paid basis with all facilities available for them. The government also ordered facility owners to fix the charges with consultation with the states and also asked them to follow all norms established for COVID care centers. The government also advised that only pre-symptomatic patients should be kept in isolation facility and they must give undertaking on the website of the Health Ministry. Ministry of Home Affairs has written to all states and union territories to cooperate with the Ministry of Railways in running more Shramik special trains for the movement of migrant workers. The MHA advises states to counsel the stranded migrant workers to not walk on roads and rail tracks. The Home Ministry also advised states to provide shelter, food and water to these migrant workers until they are facilitated to board. MHA requests the state governments for cooperation to remove hindrances and facilitate faster movement of stranded migrant workers to their native places. In another advisory, Home Ministry issues guidelines to the states to ensure smooth movement of all medical professionals, paramedic staff, sanitation personnel and ambulances. The movement also includes interstate whenever necessary. The MHA also asks the states to allow private clinics and nursing homes to remain open without hindrances to facilitate fighting COVID-19 and non-COVID emergencies. The government has dismissed a WhatsApp message claiming that ayushmanyojna.org is the official website of Ayushman Bharat Yojana. In a tweet, the Press Information Bureau fact-check team has described it as false. PIB fact-check team states that the National Health Authority has claimed that www.pmjay.gov.in is the only official website of Ayushman Bharat Yojana. And up next, every day we get you some good news which has that feel-good factor which shows that life goes on and hope and positivity is still there in these times of crisis. Hyderabad-based Defence Research and Development Organization Premier Lab Research Center Imarat has developed an automated contactless UVC sanitization cabinet called Defence Research Ultraviolet Sanitizer, that is DRUVS. It has been designed to sanitize mobile phones, iPads, laptops, currency notes, check leaves, chalans, passbooks, paper envelopes. The proximity sensor switches clubbed with drawer opening and closing mechanism makes it operation automatic and contactless. It provides 360-degree exposure of UVC to the objects placed inside the cabinet. Once the sanitization is done, the system goes in sleep mode, hence the operator need not wait or stand near the device. A National Institute of Virology, Pune, has successfully developed the first indigenous anti-SARS-CoV-2 human ELISA test kit for antibody detection of COVID-19. This robust test will play a critical role in surveillance of proportion of population exposed to SARS-CoV-2 infection. This kit is being validated at 2 sites in Mumbai and has high sensitivity and accuracy. Besides, it has the advantage of testing 90 samples together in a single run of 2.5 hours so that healthcare professionals can proceed quickly with necessary next steps on their patients' triage paths. ELISA-based testing is possible even at district level. The National Institute of Virology's technique has been transferred to Zydus and Cadila for mass-scale production. The Drug Controller General has granted commercial production and marketing permission to Zydus. And as the country continues to fight its battle against COVID-19 pandemic, the government is taking every possible step to contain the virus. The national lockdown stands till 17th of May. Even though some relaxations have been given in the orange zones across the country, the threat of corona is still not over. Some people are well aware about the critical situation. In Maharashtra's Sangli district, a salon owner has started this business using PPE kits. Let's take a look at our special report.
The Sangli district of Maharashtra falls in the orange zone. In view of this, the local administration has given some conditional permissions amid lockdown 3.0, due to which some shops are now open here. Kiran Jadhav, who runs a salon shop in the Vishrambagh campus of the district, also started his own salon shop, but in a unique way. As the COVID-19 crisis is still hovering over the state, it is essential to follow the norm of social distancing. Haircuts and other treatments in such a time are a challenge. But to avoid direct contact with customers and threatening an exposure to the virus, the salon owner has come up with an exceptional way to tackle this and run his business smoothly. As taking statutory precautions to safeguard staff and customers remain a key concern amid the COVID-19 pandemic, just like doctors, Kiran started his work wearing a PPE kit. Kiran has secured a PPE kit and every customer who comes to the shop is allowed to enter only after sanitizing their hands. And now, they are all confident about their safety.
I'm using this PPE kit due to Corona. I have also worn hand gloves. My entire face is also covered by air shield. I do not have direct contact with the client after wearing it.
Businesses are suffering big losses due to the lockdown. However, gradually life and businesses might also come back on track. Innovative business professionals like Kiran are needed in this time of crisis who know the art of balancing earning money but more importantly maintaining hygiene and safety at the same time. Sarfara Sandy's report, DD News, Sangli, Maharashtra.
And with lockdown restrictions being eased, tribal farmers in Lahaul Spiti district have now started transporting apples after nearly 5 months as the roads connecting to the region remained closed due to snowfall. But now, with the opening of Manali-Leh highway, vehicular movement has started from Lahaul Spiti to Manali. The farmers earlier were not able to transport apples due to closure of the roads due to snowfall, and after that, due to nationwide lockdown in place, all movement came to a halt. But now, with the restrictions eased, these farmers can now transport apples. And in a goodwill gesture, Ludhiana police personnel celebrated birthday of a girl as she turned 10 during lockdown. The police personnel celebrated her birthday on the tune of Happy Birthday and extended warm greetings to the birthday girl. With a nationwide lockdown in place, this gesture comes as relief and it brought a smile on the face of the child. All right, a beautiful gesture by Corona warriors there. And as restrictions got eased on the construction work throughout the country, labourers in Moradabad's brick kilns are adopting to the new normal. Wearing face masks and following social distancing, these labourers are back to work with full enthusiasm and in adherence to centre's guidelines. In the third phase of the lockdown, factories associated with sports manufacturing have been opened on certain terms and conditions after the permission granted by the government. Factory work resumed at Stag International Sports Factory in Meerut, which manufactures table tennis equipment. However, all safety measures along with social distancing and proper hygiene of workers is being taken care of. Chairman of Stag International Company, Rakesh Kohli, thanked the government for exempting the functioning of industrial work and expressed happiness at the resumption of industrial activities.
मैं खुश हूं कि अब सरकार ने जो है 8 तारीख से काम करने की हम लोग को इजाजत दी है और हम इस इजाजत से काफी खुश हैं क्योंकि देखिए हमारा एक एक्सटेंडेड परिवार है, जो हमारी वर्कफोर्स है वो हमारा एक्सटेंडेड परिवार है। 450 लोगों का हमारा ये जो परिवार है, इसके लिए हमें इनका भरण पोषण करना बहुत जरूरी है और जब तक इकोनॉमी खुलेगी नहीं हम इन लोगों का भरण पोषण करने में असमर्थ रहेंगे। टेबल टेनिस इक्विपमेंट जो है, क्योंकि इंडोर गेम है और लॉकडाउन की वजह से दुनिया भर में लोग घरों में कैद हैं और घरों में कैद होने के साथ साथ वो अपनी फिटनेस के ऊपर भी कुछ ना कुछ काम करना चाहते हैं, तो इसलिए इंडोर गेम्स का व्यवसाय बढ़ने की बहुत बड़ी उम्मीद है।
And up next we get our segment Doctors Speak, wherein doctors get you the advice to keep you safe.